Welcome back, everybody, to what should be a very special episode of the Lexie Martino podcast today, because I have with me my first family member guest today. Yes, my sister is in the building, Lexie Martino. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yes, and she's not alone. She brought a significant other with her as well. The first 3 people podcast today. I have 2 guests with me today. Aaron Kieweg is in the building. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
Aaron Kieweg is in the building today. And, we're going to just talk about, how they met, their story, and, we're going to have some fun on here. So, let's just rewind the clock back a little bit to May of 2019. What a time. Summer was coming upon us. The weather was getting really nice and whatnot. And, our family went on a cruise in May. Where do we go?
So we were on the Allure of the Seas Royal Caribbean ship. We went, what day did we leave? The 12th? May 12th?
Yeah, something like that. I think it was like the 10th or the 12th or something.
So we went for vacation, and Aaron's family went for a vacation.
Yeah, we actually went for my brother's graduation gift. So my parents took us on a cruise. Mm-hmm. We do one every other year, and we just do a family vacation, get away from our busy lives.
Yeah. So, Aaron, where are you from?
I'm originally from Muskego, Wisconsin, born and raised.
Wisconsin, the north. And if you don't know, we're from Ohio. So we all were on this cruise. And Lex, just kind of break down, let's just go through like part by part of the story, I guess. However much you think there is into it.
Okay, so I was living in Tampa, Florida at the time. I had graduated from college in May 2018, right?
Yeah,
2018.
Yeah, I think. I'm not the right person to ask that.
I didn't think about that. In May, and then moved down to Florida and was living down there. And Aaron was obviously living in Milwaukee. And we were on this cruise, and you and I, TJ, we went to a comedy show on the cruise. It was like the second night.
Yes, I remember that.
Our parents didn't go, and it was just me and TJ, and we're sitting in the front row, and then Aaron's family, he was with his parents and his brother, and they were sitting in the front row, like on the opposite side. And so we could kind of see each other. And I texted you, TJ, and I was like, Aaron had a man bun at the time.
Yeah.
Like his hair was like pulled back in a bun. His hair was really long. And I texted TJ and I said, the guy with the man bun. And TJ responded. He's like, what, really? And then I kept like trying to make eye contact with him, but he wouldn't look at me. And so I was like, okay, whatever. And your mom actually told me later on that when we walked in, she said to you, like, oh, look.
Yeah, I honestly thought you guys were like boyfriend, girlfriend.
Yeah. I texted TJ and I said, sit, like lean the other way because I don't want him to think we're together. And conveniently enough, the comedian called me and my brother out.
Yeah, he was doing crowd work.
Yeah, and he called us out and he was like, oh, are you guys dating? And I was like, yes, this is my perfect opportunity to say no, brother and sister.
And I was like, yes, I got a fair chance now.
So like we said that. And then later on that night, you and I went to like the nightclub on the cruise, and I didn't even see you, Aaron, and TJ pointed you out and was like, oh, look, there's man bun over there.
Yeah.
So then I was, drinking. So I tossed my drink back and went up to him and said, hey, and introduced myself. And then we just like spent the rest of the cruise together.
Just hanging out, getting to know each other. We saw each other at the pool almost every day. Me and TJ, we were always at the pool side bar.
Yeah, we were having fun.
Ripping shots.
Ripping shots at the pool, yeah.
Yeah.
But, so what do you think is like, so you went up and obviously initiated the conversation.
Uh-huh.
But, usually in like relationships, you see like the guys making the first move. But what made you want to just go up and take initiative?
So honestly, I've found it very rare in my like single dating experience to have an attractive guy that I would go for approach me. And I don't know if it's guys are shy nowadays or what, but I've always kind of found myself having to approach them. And I knew he would never do it because if he wasn't making eye contact with me that night, he was probably too shy to come up and talk to me. So I figured, hey, what the heck? I'll just
No, but
shoot my shot.
I feel like a lot of guys like appreciate that though. Like,
I do.
You did?
Yeah, because it's like,
yeah.
Because most girls are like, a lot of girls just are like, don't want to deal with it or are scared of rejection, just like guys are. And it's like,
no.
I definitely admire that ambition.
Well,
you're very ambitious.
You gotta shoot your shot.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with going up and just introducing yourself. You don't have to like say a cheesy pickup line. Just like going up and being like, "Oh, where are you from?"
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually find myself to be more shy. Honestly, I'm more like keep to myself.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, it was kind of crazy the way it worked out because, like at the last day of the cruise, we kind of talked about, okay, was this just like a fun, get to know each other for a cruise fling, or like, and we both agreed that we really liked each other, so we continued to do it long distance. And I actually went up to Milwaukee from Florida in July for his friend's wedding. And that was the first time we saw each other. So that was in July. And we obviously met in May. So that was the first time we saw each other. Right after that, we decided I was going to move to Milwaukee. Because I'm a nurse, so my job moves easily. And we, on that trip, actually went apartment hunting and looked around for places. And then when I came home, we both told our families, and like I just moved to Milwaukee like 2 weeks ago.
Loving the cold, right?
Yeah, loving the cold.
So at what moment on the cruise did you guys both realize that you wanted to like extend it beyond the trip?
I'm going to ask Aaron this
question. It's a question for both of you.
Yeah, so I kind of knew because, I don't know, she's just really easy to talk to, and I usually don't like open up my feelings about like anything really. I'm more reserved, but we just kicked it off, and I was like, all right, this is different than other girls I've talked to in the past. I was like, all right, I definitely want this in my life.
Yeah, I kind of felt the same way. It was just, I don't know, it just felt easy. And like I think the biggest thing was we both wanted to make it work. Because there's a lot of relationships that like they're both not willing to put forth the effort. And going from meeting somebody to being long distance, and now going from being long distance to living together, we never really had that like dating period. So I think that's kind of been like the toughest transition for us, is like going through the stages of like meeting each other. We want to, spend as much time with each other as we can, but we can't because we live far away. And then going into seeing each other every single day, it's kind of been like different, but it's very unconventional. Again, I think it's just like you both want to make it work, so you just make it work.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it has to do with you guys being on like the same timeline. Like you're both like around the same age. You're, early 20s. Just trying to feel out the world. And I admire, because like if I'm being completely honest, when you said you were gonna move to Milwaukee, I thought you were kind of crazy, just because. I mean, it was never anything to do with Aaron. It could have been anybody. Like, but it was just a matter of like you jumping and making that kind of life-altering decision within 2 months of meeting somebody.
And it just kind of like, I remember him telling me on the last day of the cruise. I don't even know if you'll remember this, but he said, when you know, you know. And honestly, I felt the same way. Like, I just knew that like I wanted to be with him. I knew that I wanted to make this leap and I find that the best things come from taking risks. So when I moved from Cincinnati to Tampa, I didn't know anybody, and it was a big deal for me, but it made me branch out and open up and be independent. So I think it was the same thing with this. I just was like, why not? What do I have to lose? And it ended up, it's been great.
Exactly. I think the hardest thing for me would be just seeing you every day now.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like
weird kind of.
It is kind of weird because we haven't, like, we went months without seeing each other. 2 months and then a month and then another month. Like, it was just like we would have to like get used to seeing each other when we were together, and it was great. And then we'd go home and we were apart again for a while, and then that would suck, and we're like, oh my god, okay. We'd have a countdown going consistently until the next time we got to see each other.
But I think the coolest thing is like we got to know each other more. Like what she liked, what she didn't like, compared to just like being with each other, living with each other. I feel like our relationship was more from getting to know each other, because I honestly know a ton of stuff about you.
You do?
I think I do.
Lexie is a very open book. She's that's just like me. That's I guess a Martino quality, but we are very honest people. So it's not hard to find out about us.
Well, being like long distance kind of forced us to get to know each other more so than a regular relationship because when you're dating somebody and you get to see them all the time, I feel like it just becomes more about quantity time than quality time. Mm-hmm. You sit there, you're watching a movie together, you're not really engaging, you're not talking, You're not communicating. Whereas with us, when we would get the opportunity to talk and FaceTime, you're not going to sit there and watch a movie with somebody on FaceTime. You're talking, you're learning about that person. It kind of forces you to get to know that person more so than the normal dating life, which is you're just sitting there watching TV or on your phones and you're not really engaging.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of interesting. That's an interesting point. I never really thought of FaceTime like that as like an avenue for just like actually having a discussion, because like you're not distracted by your phone because you're using your phone and
you can't. I mean, you're not going to sit there and just stare at each other. You know, like
exactly.
You're forced to talk and you're forced to get to know each other. And I just feel like with us, that was huge because we went from not knowing each other to having to get to know everything about each other. And
yeah,
I mean, I feel like that kind of helped us. You know, long distance is hard. It's not easy at all, but
yeah. So with FaceTime, how often would you guys FaceTime like a week?
Okay, so this is funny.
Yeah, I never used FaceTime before.
No, he had never used it.
I didn't know how to do it.
And I had to force him because I'm like, we are gonna FaceTime. Like, I'm not just gonna keep texting you for months. And so he was really nervous the first time he FaceTimed me. Like, super nervous. And it only, like, we only FaceTime for like 10 minutes, 10 minutes.
I was so nervous.
I was
so nervous.
And then he would only FaceTime me when he was at work. Because, like, he didn't want his family, like, and then he would FaceTime me at home, but he would be, like, locked in his room. And then eventually he, like, started just FaceTiming me, like, whenever. So then, like, towards the end, we FaceTimed every day.
Yeah, I did before.
When you were on your way to work. Mm-hmm. Every day. But then we would be, like, we wouldn't text.
Not as much. More
Not
FaceTime.
as much. Yeah, it was mostly FaceTime. And we would Snapchat or text. It was, like, we were always in communication unless we were sleeping or working.
And how hard is that to keep up?
Hard.
Yeah.
It was hard for me just because I had to like block off a time just to talk.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I had to like, all right, this is time for Lexie. I'm going to give her some time.
Yeah.
She's like, you're not texting me enough. I was like, really?
Because like, I feel like we like men and women are so different. Like they don't need to talk as much as women do.
Definitely.
Right?
I agree 100%. I like to get to the point and
right.
But we would be sitting on the phone for hours and Aaron would be like, all right, I'm going to bed. And I'm like, oh my God, I could have talked for 5 more hours. Like it doesn't faze me. But I'm like, you have to, our relationship for the first 4 months was only over FaceTime and texting. So if you want to make it work, you have to keep in contact. You have to stay in communication or else it'll fall through the cracks. Mm-hmm. So I forced him. I'd be like, you're calling me. I don't care if you want to or not.
So Lex, the move from Tampa, Florida to Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So now that you're like a little bit removed from Tampa, what did you learn the most from living in Tampa for that year or so?
Independence. I lived by myself. I started a job, my first nursing job down there. I had to make all new friends by myself. I didn't know anybody. So I gained independence. It forces you to do things that like you would depend on other people. It forces you to do them by yourself, which I think is a good quality to have. I recommend it to anybody, like anybody graduating from college who's single and just wants to find themselves, have some fun, move somewhere that you don't know anybody and spend your time doing that. Because I think if I hadn't had that experience, I don't know if we would have what we have today because I would be a different person.
How so? Like
I would be so dependent. Like I find myself financially independent. I find myself emotionally independent. I feel like in a relationship, it's important to know that you don't need that person. You want to be with them. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, if something were to happen with me and Aaron, I don't need him per se, but I want him in my life. And I feel like that's an important quality to have in a relationship. You don't feel like you have to depend on them.
No, I like that.
What do you think?
What do I think about that?
Yeah.
Well, I actually moved to Florida after graduation as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I moved
Which
down
is kind
there.
of weird.
Yeah, so I was actually in.
So you lived in Tampa?
Yeah,
Or-
for about 8
Oh,
months.
really?
I moved down there after college because I just wanted to get away and I didn't really know what I wanted. So I got a job doing outside sales there. I was down there living my life, hanging. I had a couple buddies down there at the time and we'd just go out and party, whatnot. But then I started to miss my family and friends and I was like, Mom and Dad, is it okay if I come back home? And they're like, yeah, it's not a failure. Just, I kind of like learned it was a learning experience for me, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I came back like a different person.
So what made you want to go back up north?
I would just say primarily just my friends and family. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing. I'm
Yeah.
very close knitted with my high school friends and my mom and dad and my little brother as well. I think family's huge to me.
Yeah.
And you actually missed the seasons, you said.
I actually like the leaves change.
Oh my
I think
God,
that's so
I could
cool.
go the rest of my life and never see it again.
You're gonna be getting a whole lot of it.
I know. It's already so cold up there.
Yeah. So let's go into so the move to Milwaukee.
Uh-huh.
So now, how long you've been living there for? Like what, a week or two now?
No, now it's been, well, we kind of cheated because we went from, I moved all my stuff out of Florida. And while it was moving up to Milwaukee, him and I went to Mexico for a week. So we spent a week in Mexico, and then we came back and moved in 2 weeks ago today. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been good. I start my new job tomorrow.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And so what is obviously the biggest difference, not only from Tampa but from Cincinnati and Milwaukee? Like how are
It's
those?
cold. Oh my gosh. It's so cold. It's like frigid. It's like, I can't even explain it. It's not even just cold. It's like miserably cold. And it's not even the winter yet up there.
If
Like,
you think it's cold now, you're.
I know. And people keep telling me that. And I'm like, you guys got to stop. Like, I went to Target a couple days ago and I was like bundled up. Okay. And there was a guy there without even a jacket on. And I'm like, ooh, this is going to be rough. But like, as far as the move, like, what do you think like has been the hardest thing about like moving in together?
Yeah, that was gonna be my next
I kind
question.
of already know your answer.
I would
but-
say just getting like a new routine. I'm very like, I'll do the same thing every morning, work all day, come home, eat, go to the gym, do it all over again. I'm like pretty much by myself all day. And now I have to go home to a different place. I get to see you when I come home.
And her amazing food.
And her cookies. The cookies are amazing you made the other day.
Yeah, I could never cook before, and now I'm forcing myself to because otherwise.
She's great.
Hey, no, I try, but I think like the biggest thing is like just kind of like we're so different in like he doesn't need like to talk all the time, and like when he gets home I've spent because I haven't been working last couple of weeks, so I spend all day by myself. And when he gets home, I'm like, it's almost
She
like
wants to talk,
yay,
and I'm
yay,
just
yay.
like, all right, I just want to
Yeah,
be
he
left
like
alone.
wants to like go to bed, but then like you've been really good about it though.
I'm learning.
Yeah, like it's been a learning experience because this is both his and my like first serious relationship, especially like live-in boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. So it's been a learning experience for both of us, but I think we're both learning, you know, how each other works. Like I'm very emotional and I'm very sensitive, and that's hard for Aaron.
Yeah, I am not sensitive whatsoever.
No.
Not
You're
at
like
all.
really used to just like, he's always like, well, I, you know, rip on my friends and they don't care. I'm like, yeah, but those are guys. Like you have to like the relationship with your girlfriend is different than the relationship with your guy friends. So I think that's been hard.
Yeah,
for
sometimes
you.
I find myself saying things I would say to like my friends and
Then
to
I get my
Lexie.
feelings
Yeah,
hurt.
but like I don't mean it like that. It's just a joke.
But I don't like that.
Yeah, like Lexie, she takes a lot of things very personally.
Well, that's women. A lot of that is women.
Yeah.
We're not as like, we don't, I say this all the time, like the way that him and his friends talk and you and your friends talk to you, like you guys just all rip on each other and then 5 minutes later it's like, oh yeah, that's funny. Like
not even
you
5
call
minutes.
each other
Right, directly after.
yeah, like you guys call each other fat or whatever, and like, oh yeah, I know. Like if a girl called another girl fat, it would just, you would never be friends again. So that's what I'm saying is like, it's a different, women have different relationships than men do. It's just different. So to try and merge like a man and a woman together, you have to be considerate of the way that each other is. And he's always like, you gotta laugh at yourself. Yeah, but I don't think it's funny, so I'm not gonna laugh at myself. I'm not gonna laugh at that, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's been interesting. But yeah, we didn't meet like normal people. It was kind of like a chance. Neither one of us knew going on their cruise that we would
Exactly. I just
meet.
family vacation time.
Yeah. And our families are very similar. So I think that like we were raised very similarly. Midwest, like I'm really close with his parents and his brother. And that's also really rare because he's really close with you guys.
Yeah.
And my parents. And I think that's so rare because usually like there's always something with like the in-laws. But with us, it's not like that. Like I'm really close with, I hang out with his mom like every day. Yeah.
I swear, you're taking my spot, my Monday spot.
I know. He used to hang out with his mom on Mondays. Now I do instead. So, I mean, it's been nice in that way. Like everybody gets along. Everybody likes each other.
Mm-hmm.
So
We get along really well. The only thing is, I always just throw my clothes everywhere, anywhere on the ground, and she's always picking up my stuff, and I'm like, "Where's all my like?" If I throw it on the ground, I know it's gonna be there when I come home.
That's how I was too.
You know?
Yes, because like, I don't like when people touch my stuff.
Exactly. I put it on the ground for a reason, you know. But I come home and I'm like, where are my shorts? She's like,
hell yeah.
They're folded in my closet. I'm like, oh.
I'll be like, oh, I did the laundry and I put them away. Well, I didn't want those washed. And I'm like, then why are they on the floor?
So I'm gonna wear them.
So I can pick them up and put them right on.
That is so, and men are so not clean. Like the personal hygiene. Like I used to have this with you. Like you guys are just gross. So I feel like, and he hates that I'm so like OCD and clean. Like I clean all the time. The place looks so clean.
I could eat off the floors.
Well, no, he does, because he'll drop something on the floor and then pick it up and eat it. And I'm
5
like,
second
that
rule.
is disgusting.
5 second rule.
But I like clean the bathrooms and everything's like spick and span. And then he comes in and it's just like wreaking havoc. Like everywhere he steps, there's another mess. And I'm just like, oh my God. Even just pouring like water into a glass, it's just spilling everywhere. And I am like just thinking about the mess I'm going to have to clean up later. It's just hard living with a guy in that way because they're not the same.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what have you found to be like different between living with me as your brother and Aaron as your boyfriend?
I can yell at you.
She yells at me too, so don't worry.
I don't yell at you, Aaron. I never yell at you. I will just sternly be like, I think you should pick up your clothes. But with TJ, I'd be like, pick up your clothes. Because like I wouldn't care. But like with you, and I'm sure we'll get to that point where I'll just start yelling at you.
Ready.
For now, it's more of just like I have to kind of like respectfully, and like it's his place too.
I have a little corner where I can just throw my stuff. She gave me a
little corner. There's a corner in every room because there's crap everywhere all the time. But like I think that's like I can yell at TJ and be like, get your like stuff together.
Yeah.
And with you, I have to understand that this is your place too. I like, you know.
Yeah. Just a little me time.
What's the hardest thing about living with a girl?
Yeah.
You don't have sisters, so.
I would say, well, it's really clean, so that's kind of hard for me. But I like
it's too clean.
It's
Poor
too
thing.
clean for me. I'm like I don't want to do anything because I don't want to mess it up.
What a poor thing.
But I
His
like the
place
cleanness.
Is too clean.
It's awesome though. But I don't know. I would say the hardest thing would be. I'm a pretty relaxed guy. I really want to have. There's nothing that I don't like.
True. Yeah, he's easygoing.
Yeah, I think that he's perfect for you in that sense.
Yeah,
because you're very like.
But he has his moments.
Meticulous.
Like what?
Well,
when he's not so easygoing.
Well, everybody does, because everybody has those like non-negotiables where it's like there is no negotiating this. This is
I'll tell you
what I want.
Yeah,
like,
I'll tell you what it is right now.
What is it?
I gotta have my sheets out.
Yeah, his
out
sleeping deal. Mm-hmm.
Okay, explain.
You say it.
You tell him.
No, you do it.
All right, so when she likes to tuck in the sheets on all the corners of the bed.
Yeah, I do that too.
And I just rip them off so I can have my feet stick out from the bottom, because I don't like the covers on my feet.
Really?
Yeah.
He flings in the morning, it's like the bed looks like a lion was just released. And I try and make it every day to, because I can't stand looking at it like that. And
I said, don't waste your time. Don't make the bed.
Yeah. And now I don't make it anymore because he messes it up anyways. And that just and another thing, he has to put his bread in the fridge, which I hate. What? I hate that. I think like it's the little things that he does that I'm just like, whatever. And I just do it because it's not worth talking about it. But.
Yeah, I don't think bread in the fridge is worth that.
Like, it's not worth the argument.
argument.
But it just drives me nuts. I'm like, I don't understand. He's like, well, it keeps it longer. We eat a loaf of bread in like 2 or 3 days. Like, what do we need to keep it in the fridge for?
Keeps it fresh.
No, it doesn't. It dries it out, actually. I looked it up on Google.
You Googled it?
Yeah, because I couldn't understand why someone would do that.
Maybe that's a Midwestern thing, you know?
It's not.
Maybe.
I'm from the Midwest. Nobody does that. It's just you.
That's a northerner thing.
Yes.
You guys like everything cold. You're like, yep, throwing the bread in the fridge. The bread is too warm. You need to throw that in the fridge.
It's true. They love the cold up there. They like, oh, it's so warm. It's 45 degrees outside.
It's 45 and sunny. It's
like
sunny.
Ready to like turn into an ice sculpture. Seriously. All right. Next topic.
Yeah. I want to talk about something with you, Lexie, that I think could be an interesting debate.
Yeah.
And that is the topic of jinxing.
Oh. We had this conversation yesterday.
We are on polar opposite sides of the jinx scale. Lexie.
You're kind of, in the middle? Or you?
I agree with TJ more.
Okay.
So basically what this is Lexie, and she's not the only one, but she loves using the word jinx as like a way of explaining something happening. So like, if you don't know what jinxing is, the dictionary definition of jinx is to foredoom to failure or misfortune, to bring bad luck to. So basically what people say is like, oh, you're jinxing it. Like, you're causing this thing to happen. Exactly. Right. So, yeah. Lexie, you are a big believer in the jinx, right?
For sure.
And why is that?
Because it's true.
Like,
I mean, I just, like, even yesterday, like, I yelled at my dad because we were all sitting in the room, and he goes, I think Ohio State could win the national championship. And I said, you just jinxed it. Now they won't because you just said that they're going to. And I can't, you're putting that bad juju out into the world and saying, oh yeah, they're going to win the national championship. And now they won't just because you said that, because you put that out there in the world.
But he's not the first person in the world to say that.
Yeah, but I'm not hearing. I don't know how to explain it. But like, I just am superstitious in that way. Like, I feel like when you're overly confident in something, it doesn't happen.
You mean cocky?
Yeah,
but there's a difference between something that you can control and something like Ohio State winning the national championship.
Like even yesterday, we walk outside to go back to your party, and it wasn't raining, and it was warm. And Aaron and my dad go, oh, wow, it's not raining, and it's pretty warm outside. And not even 5 minutes later, it starts torrential downpouring. And then it was freezing. And I'm like, you guys jinxed it. Like, just don't say anything like that.
So like, what do you think is behind, like, this happening? If
the negativity in the world, or the
negative energy? Yeah,
like the energies. Like, everybody just keep your mouth shut about that stuff, because then good things don't happen when you're cocky about it. You know? Like, if Ohio State's meant to win the national championship, they'll win the national championship. So just don't talk about it.
But what's the difference?
Like, when you go into a game, like when you're watching a game on TV or you're at the game and you're like, oh, this is a shoo-in. Like, it's probably not going to happen then.
I mean, yes and no, but like, it's like, it'd be different if you were on the team and you're saying that. Like, if you're Justin Fields and you're like, oh, Ohio State we're going to blow this team out, which, yeah, you usually do. But
see, but you can't say that, because it's just putting the negative.
No, and that's what I'm saying. I'm saying
it's like
in that case, if
somebody in the world is spiting you, then they're gonna make you lose just because you were acting cocky.
Right, but like if you have like an impact on the situation, then jinxing, I think, may be more of a believable concept. But
so, are you not superstitious?
Not really.
Aaron, you are.
I am more kind of for fun. Like,
Yeah.
Like, I don't like really put a lot of weight into it, but I like just being superstitious for fun. Like, I like wearing like the same thing, like wearing Eagles
Aaron
stuff
was an
right
athlete.
now.
He played baseball. What did you do?
I always used to wear
Yeah.
the same shirt.
You wore the
Always.
same
Baseball's
shirt
very
every game?
superstitious.
Same thing, same routine, listen to the same songs before.
Really?
Exactly.
What was your song what was the song you would listen to right before you go on the field?
Right Above by Lil Wayne.
Oh.
Of course.
The glory days.
So you would listen to that same song every single game.
It's good juju.
Oh, but you believe that?
Because I had an
Yeah,
impact.
because he was playing in the game.
Yeah. You don't have any impact on Ohio State. You're not like on the field scoring touchdowns.
I know that, but it's still just like, I just don't. I think it can backfire. So I believe in that.
Is it more that you're like afraid of being wrong, or is it more?
That's a good question. I don't know. No. I just believe that somebody out there is then being like, ha ha ha, you just said it's not raining? Ha, well now it's gonna rain. And that's exactly what happened last night. We weren't out there for 5 minutes after Aaron.
It was raining all day.
Tom
I mean,
said,
you could have guessed that.
No, but it stopped and it was warm, and both of them go, "Oh, it's not raining anymore, and it's pretty warm outside." And sure enough, it was freezing and torrential downpour. So, I think they jinxed it. But if they wouldn't have said anything, it probably wouldn't have rained.
What are you? But you say you're very superstitious. What other like superstitious habits do you have, Lexie?
Like, I don't.
Like, is there anything that like you do? Like,
I'm extremely obsessive compulsive. Like, I do a lot of things the same way every single day. Like, I have to wash my face the exact way every single.
And how is that?
Day. What do you mean?
Like, how do you like? What is there like? You said there's like a same way that you do it. Is there like a specific order? So what is the order? I'm just interested.
I do the first step of my face wash, and then I brush my teeth, and then I do the last 2 steps, and then I take all, like in the morning, then I take all my vitamins, and then I get changed, and then I leave.
In that exact order?
Yeah.
Every morning?
Yeah. And every night.
Fascinating.
It is. I'm pretty OCD. That's why I'm so clean. Because I love right now that we're going to drive all the way back to Milwaukee tonight, and when we walk in, it'll be clean.
Nope, there's dishes.
Yeah, and then he put a dish in the sink before we left, and I haven't stopped thinking about it since he told me about it on the way
thinking
here.
about that dish just
I'm like,
sitting in there.
Oh my God, because I had it all done. Everything was clean. The dishes are all, nope, now I got to think about doing that dish when I get home.
That's the thing I hate about living with 5 other people is that like I'll like do the dishes because I'm like the only one that does the dishes. Mm-hmm. I'm the only one that cleans because nobody else in my apartment cares. So like they just don't care if they live in
they're
filth.
gonna hear this, right?
Yeah, I know they will. I tell them like you guys just love living in filth, and they're like,
well, that's guys. Men don't really care.
But yeah, like anyway, like I would hate like I literally would do the dishes, go to class, come home, sinks filled with them.
Yeah.
They take them all to the rooms and stuck them right back in the sink.
That's why like having roommates in college is hard because there are people that are so different than you.
Right.
And living by myself, I lived in a studio apartment in Tampa, and it was so nice because it was either always clean all the time or like if I left dishes in the sink, I knew it was like, okay, it's mine. I'll do it when I get to it. But like now, that's the hardest thing living with another person is that you have to, and he's not just a roommate, like we're living together, Mm-hmm. So it's kind of just trying to like accommodate each person. And he'll walk in from work with like his dirty shoes and track mud all through the place, and I just want to rip my hair out. But
yeah, I come home from work, it's like pristine.
Yeah.
Everything's clean to a tack.
That's nice.
It is nice. I don't have to do anything. I would do it, but it's already done.
Yeah, and if you were to do it, she would not like the way you.
I wouldn't be doing good enough.
Like no.
Like don't waste your time.
That's the thing. Like that's why like, I didn't really like cleaning a lot because like when I would clean, it would never be done
the right way.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, I just wasted my time.
Right.
So, but at the same time, like I want to be able to give an effort to clean.
Right.
So it's like kind of finding a balance between like But like at the end of the day, like that's why I kind of want to live by myself for at least a little bit of time,
awesome.
like, and have my own place, just like so I can discipline myself to like.
You won't though; it'll be trashed.
No, it won't. I mean, my room's really.
His room is very clean.
It's messy right now. It's messy right now.
I thought it'd be a lot messier.
It's messy right now because they just brought like 10 pounds of clothes up, so I haven't even gone through any of them yet. But
I know you wanted to talk about social media. I don't know what exactly.
Oh yeah, sure, we can do that. We can do
what aspect of social media? Like on relationships or just in general?
I mean, sure. We could do relationships. Like, do you have something to say on that, or are you just trying to?
No, you said you wanted to talk about it earlier.
Oh, I mean, I was just gonna say like, this is like something I want to do with like a lot of my female guests that I'm gonna have in the future is like Instagram, like a little Instagram etiquette section.
Okay.
So, when do you think is the best time of the day to post an Instagram?
So now that Instagram has changed up its algorithm, it doesn't really matter because I thought like it used to be based off of what like in the order that people posted is how the post would show up, but now it doesn't do that anymore.
Nah.
So it really doesn't matter when you post your Instagram. That whole like, oh, I posted it at the wrong time of the day. It's why I didn't get as many likes is not true.
It's just not that good of a picture.
Exactly. Well, because now it's like I think a lot of it is based off of like who you like look at the most and like if they post it'll come up. I think that's how it works.
That's how it is with stories, I feel like, cuz like I'll see the same people as stories that I watch. Like all of my friends always pop up at the top.
Right. Like if I watch like some people's stories more often and then they post something, it'll like come up first. I think that's how like posting works too. But I don't know for sure. But I know that now it doesn't go in order.
Right.
Like the way
they changed that like a couple years ago.
Yeah. So now it really doesn't matter when you
post. But what was your best time? Like when were you like this is
Saturday or Sunday morning because it would give people all day.
Yeah. Sunday. I've heard Sunday is a really good time.
Yeah. Sunday would probably be the best because Saturday people are still like waking up late and then like going out that night. So Sunday probably it's like when people are just chilling.
Hungover.
Yeah.
Staying in bed, scrolling through the feeds.
But it's like social media is a good thing and a bad thing.
Oh yeah.
Especially in relationships.
How so?
Like I'll get mad at him because I'll be like, why don't you post that picture of us? Like
she got mad because I didn't post any pictures from
Mexico.
I was like, I don't really post that much though.
Okay, but like you had so many that you wanted to post and you didn't post them. Actually, we got into a really big fight in Mexico because there was you know what I'm talking about.
The tiger.
Yeah, so there was this tiger like
it was a lion actually.
Whatever, some kind of animal who was like on a leash.
Some kind of animal.
Who was on a leash and these people were like, "Oh, if you pay me however much money, you could take a picture with the lion." So we did. And we took this picture and I wasn't crazy about any of the pictures of me and him with the lion and he didn't get any by himself and I didn't get any by myself. And I wasn't crazy. And I was like, well, let me edit them and, then you can post one. I look over his shoulder and he had cropped me out of the picture and it was just him with the lion. And he was like gonna post it, and I was like, "Oh hell no!"
I thought I was being nice because you didn't like the way you looked.
No.
That means you're getting the X.
Yeah, like please just have it of just you and the lion. Don't like have me in it. That's horrible.
I thought I was actually being really nice.
Yeah.
No. See, that's it right there. That's the difference between men and women. Women take that as an insult, and men think that they're being.
Because I didn't want to post a picture of you looking not your best.
I edit it though. I told you that, and you still didn't even post it. And I edited all of them. See, that's what I mean. He doesn't post enough. Like yesterday, he was all over my Snapchat story, and on his, you wouldn't have even known that I was in the same state. Like that's just men. Men and women.
Yeah.
Aaron, do you use a lot of social media or?
Not really. I'll just go through like Snapchat or like Instagram, like stories wise. But
yeah, and just watch people's posts.
Yeah, it's like reading a newspaper kind of. Like I don't.
It is. Twitter is like a newspaper.
Exactly.
That's where I get all my news from Twitter.
use
I don't
Twitter
read the newspapers, but I always know what's going on in the news because I read Twitter.
See, I don't use Twitter anymore.
I love Twitter.
No, I'm an Instagram fiend. I love Instagram. But I don't really post as much as I used to. I used to post a lot. Now my life's kind of anticlimactic, so.
There's nothing worth sharing.
I don't know. I guess like when you're in a relationship, your audience kind of changes. So it's like you don't really care to like post pictures of just yourself because like for who?
Right.
Now I'm just like, you know, what, you just want to see pictures of me and my boyfriend at the Ohio State game? You know what I mean? Like it's just kind of different. So, and now like we're at the age that like everybody's like getting engaged, getting married. So it's like you go on Instagram and every single day somebody new is you know, engaged or whatever.
Right.
So it's like a different kind of like vibe than when I was in college where it's like girls just posting pictures of their workouts and like nobody posts that kind of stuff anymore now.
Yeah. So you think do you like the new version of Instagram for you now that like do you like seeing the pictures of people like getting married and all that more than you would say you used to? Like do you get more out of it now than you used to?
Because in college, I mean, I'm sure you can like it's just like, especially girls, I feel like your page changes because you're no longer trying to post things to impress people.
Right.
You know, now it's just like you're talking about like experiences.
Your life.
Yeah. Rather than like, oh, here, like me in a bathing suit. You know what I mean? It's just different. I mean, do you think Instagram is like a detriment to relationships?
I don't really think so. I mean, I like it just to see what my friends are doing at the time. Or like, oh, hey, they went to the Ohio State game. Or like, hey, he's out partying with some buddies.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I don't really use it to like, oh, man, this chick's hot. And like,
well, God, I would hope not.
I know.
But no, like I'm kind of in that stage of like the Instagram is like, as you were saying, like it's people more posting for their self-image than actually sharing something about their lives. Like, and
I think it's like, in some ways, I think it can be a detriment. I think
totally,
because I feel like, you know, it gives men especially like this image of like, oh, well, this girl looks like this, my girlfriend doesn't look like that. Or, you know, you'll go through and see that they're liking pictures of these girls and it's like, what are you liking that for? You know what I mean? Like it can be kind of like annoying. I don't know.
Concerning.
Not concerning, but like I know a lot of like people that their relationships have like taken.
That's the thing. You just can't put too much stock into that stuff. Like people are gonna like pictures just because they're pictures. Like
I feel like it also gives like a false image. Like, all right, this is their perfect life. Well, in reality,
when it's not.
Yeah,
it's like you're never gonna have relationships all the time that look like, oh, they're such couple goals, but there's no relationship that's perfect.
No,
not at all. Every like we have a really good relationship. But we obviously have our moments that like we argue. Mm-hmm. We like we have times where we get annoyed with each other, but
it's cool that I can act like a total dork in front of her, and she wouldn't just like.
He can be dorky, but I don't care because I you know, when you like love that person and you care about that person, it doesn't really matter. You get in arguments, they get annoying, they can be weird and whatever, but you want to be with that person, so you just you make it work.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the importance with like guys. I think they need to, men in their 20s don't typically act like Aaron where they're mature and they know what they want. But so that's why I feel lucky to have like found somebody that like, you know, I want to spend my time with, you know?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't get to find that for a while.
No, totally. Aaron, anything to add there? Think she got it?
He's got to get in touch with his emotions. Here we go.
I mean, you don't have to be that deep, but just whatever you got to say.
No, I definitely I think it's like kind of weird going off of, like, superstition is, like, meant to be, like, we got along so well from the beginning, and just, like, it kind of feels weird, like, it goes so smoothly, like, all right, isn't it supposed to be a little harder than normal, or, like, are we gonna have more bumps in the roads? But honestly, it's been smooth sailing so far.
Yeah, and I mean, those bumps in the road will come, but it's like, it's really just about being able to say, like, you gotta have, like, a list of things that you're going to be like, these are things I don't want to negotiate. Like, these are things that I need to have or need to happen.
Exactly.
And I say that a lot.
And for both of you. And then once you share that with each other and you know each other's non-negotiables, then everything else is just compromise.
Exactly.
Like,
I agree.
So
She says I got to be more emotional and, like, show more emotions, because I don't really do that.
No. Like, I'll sit there. This is a perfect example. I told him, I said, you're one of the best people to walk into my life. This is his response. You're pretty awesome too.
Like, that means if you gotta dig deeper though, I'm saying, like, you're like,
I was like, what?
You get what I'm saying though, like, guys say it in a different way than girls do.
Right. You said that yourself. Like,
I know, but, like, come on. Like, all you have to say is, like, just say the exact same thing I just said and then add 2 at the end.
I think you're pretty awesome too.
But I didn't say you're pretty awesome. So I guess it just was kind of like, what? But we, like, laughed about it later, because that's just the difference of men and women. But he's been trying. Like, he shows that he cares about me in different ways than, like, I have a friend who her boyfriend is just very, like, you know, in touch with his emotions, but he doesn't do little things, whereas he does the little things and he's not in touch with his emotions. So there's no perfect guy. There's definitely, and there's no perfect girl.
Yeah, I'd rather do little things for her, like bring her a cupcake or...
Yeah, he knows I love sweets, so one day he came home from working out and he brought me a cupcake. It made my day.
Lexie is such a sweet tooth.
I know.
I am too, though. I love candy.
Oh, donuts.
Yeah, you are...
We got to hit up Buckeye Donuts.
Oh, we can go there, yeah.
What, is it good donuts?
Oh,
Heck yeah.
They're nice.
Oh, yeah.
It's open 24 hours, too.
Damn.
Yep.
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff there. Yeah, we can go there.
For sure.
But
he does that kind of stuff. Like, he'll, like, be like, oh, you know, I was craving tea the other night. He brought me home, like, a peach tea. Like, it's the little things that he does to show that he cares.
I think it's easier for me to do that than express my emotions. I'd rather just get you something and, like, you know that I care about you.
Yeah, but you're working on it, I think. Like, you try.
I try, yeah.
Yeah, but there is no perfect person. It's just, like, who's perfect for you, and then you make the rest of it work. Like, there's going to be things about your significant other that you're going to wish that you could change, and they're going to wish that they could change things about you. And you either compromise and
figure it out.
Make it work and understand that nobody is going to be perfect.
Yeah, I'd say, like, one of the things I like most about Lexie is she, like, takes care of me. Like, we were in Mexico and I wasn't feeling the best, and she's, like, my personal nurse, let alone that she is a nurse. But, like, she'd take care of me. She'd give me water, medicine, make sure I was feeling good. She'd bring me, like, fruit in the morning. I was like, wow, I'm pretty damn lucky.
Yeah, Lexie, I will say this. I admire, 2 things I really admire about you is, one is that you are a very caring person. And yes, like, you're very meticulous and you're very, like...
annoying.
And you're very aggressive sometimes.
In what way am I aggressive?
You know, if things start going awry, you don't handle it the most, you know, calm way. But let me go. Let me finish. But I do think you do care, and you're very passionate about what you care about. But the thing I admire the most about you is, like, how ambitious you were to just say, you know what, I may love this life in Florida, but I found this guy, and I really think this could work. So I admire the fact that you were able to just do it, you know, and go for it. And I told you, I said, I definitely could not be doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I told her that.
I totally could not do that. And like I said, like, I didn't really understand it, but I do now. And I get it. And you know what? You're young and you
see us together in order to understand.
Right.
Like, people that I used to work with thought I was absolutely nuts for doing this. But then once you, like, see how we are together and, like, you're like, oh yeah, they're pretty perfect together. So I think it's like that. So for all the girls that are listening to this,
I was going to come to this. Advice. What advice do you have for girls? And then Aaron will get you with advice as well.
When you feel like you met the right person, you have to make the sacrifices that you have to make for them. And I didn't want to leave Florida. I would still be living there had I not met Aaron. But, it all ended up working out for me. So, and it can happen for anybody. You got to trust your gut. And if you feel like this is the right person, you feel like you really love that person, then take the leap because it'll be worth it.
And then Aaron, any advice for the young men and women out there?
I would definitely say I definitely had my party phase of going out and having a good time throughout college. But then as I kind of started to realize as I got older, I was like, all right, I want to be by myself every day. And when I found Lexie, I was like, all right, I think we might actually have something here. And I always tell her, I was like, I can't do what you did and get up and move your whole life. I was like, you got some big balls.
Honestly,
it wasn't easy.
I was like, I admire your ambition. That's what I told you when you first told me about it, that you were gonna do it. And I was like, I don't 100% agree with the decision, but I support it, and I want nothing but the best for you.
Well, I've never been happier. Than
yeah, and I'm happy it's working out for you right now.
If you find that, don't let it go.
Yeah,
for sure.
No, totally. And then any advice for people graduating, post-grad advice, maybe a little bit?
Save. That's my best advice. It was, I don't know, it's a big adjustment when you have to pay every month thousands of dollars for rent or bills and whatever else that you have to pay for. It's a big adjustment.
I'd definitely say if you have a chance, get out and leave.
Yeah.
Go somewhere.
Yeah, me too. Because
if you eventually do come back home, I feel like you had big enough balls to go out there and do it yourself. Not a lot of people actually have the chance or have the courage to go out and live in a new city by themselves for a year or two.
Put yourself out.
But that's what I would say. I mean,
actually, I agree with you. That's what
I think it was a big learning experience for me, and it actually kind of showed me what I want and what I don't want in life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then even your mom said when you came back from Florida, you were a different person. And I feel the same way. I feel like I totally changed. And now I feel like I'm prepared for this next step in my life, which is settling down and having fun and sharing my life with somebody and not just living my own. Now I have somebody to do things with and share those memories. And, now when I go to visit you guys, he'll be with me. It's just it's a different phase of your life. But I think that was also a little bit hard for you to kind of realize now it's not just about what you want. It's
I actually have to care about you, your thoughts and what you're thinking.
Right.
And all right, it's just not my way. I think, what would you want to do today?
Right. So it's compromising and sharing your life with that person. But, live by yourself for a while. If you're in a relationship, that's one thing. But if you're single and you're I just want to do something crazy, just go move somewhere where you know nobody and start up a life, because you never know where it might lead you. You might end up in Milwaukee. Who knows? So
yeah. All right, well, this has been awesome, guys.
Yeah, this is cool.
Thank you.
I've always wanted to have you on, obviously, Lexie, but having both of you guys on was really cool.
Yeah.
And shout out to mom and dad there in the other room. I'm gonna have them on eventually in the future.
Yeah.
I want to wait a little bit, get the listeners up a little bit before then, because it's gonna be a big episode. But
oh god,
that is coming down the pipeline. But thanks to everybody that's listening out there, all the listeners. Give me the 5 stars if you think this was a 5-star podcast.
Oh, it was.
Yes, and I think it was. This was a great episode. Like I said, thanks. Give me 5 stars. Like it, share it, do all that stuff. Comment in the Apple section and tell me what you didn't like, whatever. Anything? Any
fun.
Social media you guys want to plug? Anything?
I mean, our social media?
Yeah, if you want to plug anything, if you want anybody to follow you anywhere or whatever.
Well, I mean, I am private, so if I don't know who you are, I may not accept it. But if I know who you are from being TJ's friend, then I'll accept you.
If you want to give me a follow, I'll follow you guys right back.
Yeah, Aaron will.
I'll follow anyone. Doesn't really bother me.
At Lexie Martino is me.
At Aaron_Kieweg.
Yep.
Awesome. And remember, 5 stars, rate, comment. Also, tell a friend, one friend challenge. Tell one friend. One friend. That's all you got to do. Say, if your friend's like, hey, what podcast should I listen to? I want to listen to a podcast.
Pick this one.
Pick this one. This is a good one to listen to on your morning commute to work, class, the doctor, wherever. But yeah, follow me. I'm back on Facebook. Can you believe it?
No.
I am back on Facebook.
Really?
Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, I joined.
Are we friends?
Yeah.
Oh.
I recovered my account because I shut my account down 2015, 2014, something like that.
I don't even remember.
Because I did not use it.
Honestly.
Because I did not use it, and I was like, I don't want to even have this anymore. And then I deleted the account, but then I ended up typing a month ago. I wanted to just get back on it because I was like, I'm gonna be a post grad.
Uh-huh.
That's how you know you've officially gotten old is when you really
Facebook.
Enjoy posting on Facebook.
I enjoy posting on Facebook.
You're getting
that
old.
means you've gotten old.
Yeah.
I'm not.
But yeah, so I'm back on Facebook. Hit me up. I made a page for the podcast too on Facebook. I'll share that out. I've done that before, but I'll do it again. So yeah, follow me on there. On Twitter at TJ Martino, no spaces. TJ.Martino on Instagram. You can double tap me all the time. That'd be great. Snapchat, TJ Martino, no spaces. YouTube, check me out there. I'm starting to get all the podcast episodes up on YouTube. So yeah, look out for that. Spotify. Obviously, the podcast will be up on Spotify. You can search it there, and you can find my personal account and see all the music I've been listening to. Apple Music, find me there. SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, all that stuff. You can find the podcast there. Basically, anywhere you listen to podcasts. But yeah, like I said, thanks guys for coming on. This was awesome.
Thank you, TJ.
I'll have you guys back on in the future.
Yes. We'll give you an update.
Yeah, give you an update on if you guys actually clean that dish that's sitting in the sink.
Oh, it'll be clean.
Yeah,
Trust
give me
me.
give me an update on that. And yeah, this has been awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming, and thanks for listening, everybody. And we'll see you later. Peace.